I'm a little bit different. I'm live, you know. Shout out to everybody joining me this morning. There was a lot of things that Trump said as far as the nation doing well and doing great. Uh, I'm going to say this. The nation, in his eyes, is doing great. But as far as the nation in the world's eyes and fans' eyes, I beg to differ on that. And the reason I beg to differ on that is because Americans are suffering. And when I say suffering, suffering from the greed of everybody who's trying to do right. And when I say trying to do right, meaning trying to manage their money, manage their finances, go into job sectors, go into collegiate areas to where it would actually increase their their money. And what we're finding out that we're seeing that all of this is a ruse. College doesn't ask you exactly how much money you want to make. They just offer jobs and courses. Um, if this nation was doing so great, then we would have people lining up to go to college when there was actually a statistic that went out that most people don't believe in college like they used to. So that's false. Also, about this great nation being able to save thousands and thousands of dollars. How will we be able to save thousands of dollars if people can't barely afford housing, much less their medical, which you stated, and then also cars? Think about that for a second. Give me 1 second. We're going to address this. I'll be right back. We got to address this. Oh, shit. I'll be right back. Give me a second. I'm back. If this country was doing so goddamn great, why the fuck you need 40 and 50-year mortgages? If this country was doing so great, why do we need 5 and 7 year car notes? Because they know that they've blurred the lines, cut the red tape, so that people could be taken more advantage of. They've created this system called consumerism. They've created this system If that was the case, China wouldn't have blew the lid on their quote unquote products and luxury goods. Why would China have to open up their mouths to say anything in reference to about spending? And when I say spending, I'm talking about the luxury goods that are made in China at the cheapest of cost, but importing everything in here. See, everybody's been living high off the hog off the American dollar. And when I say high off the hog, everybody but the American people. And it's time for the American people to take their money back. It's time for the American people to say, you know what? We're not going to pay these high prices. We're going to start figuring out and doing things on our own. They always talk about 1776. 1776 was not when this country was great. This country was great when everybody was living in peace and in harmony. Everybody had their own. You could live off the land. And all of the things that were supposed to be of use for the American people, we're now getting charged for. These multi-billion-dollar corporations like Amazon and all of them, they want you working till you die. They don't give a damn about your retirement. They don't give a damn. Listen, back in 2000, I'm giving you some real live game. Back in 2000, when the world changed after September 11th, we were about to hit the biggest wave of white-collar crime in the history of America. But that war took us off that hinge. I'm talking about we was focused on who was doing what and who was stealing money. These same corporation people come to work for the United States Treasury. Look up their backgrounds. Look at what look at their backgrounds. Look at the people who they associate themselves with. There's no reason that corporations should be in any contact with the government, because guess what? When that comes into play, so does corruption. I'm gonna address some more things when I get back. Just hold on. Just hold up a second. I got you. I promise. I got you. Just wait 1 second. I promise you I'm gonna address everything that needs to be addressed about that. Them lies, bullshit. Ugh. Ugh. I'm gonna tell you the truth because it needs to be talked about. Oh yeah, we gonna talk about it. Good. Double. You want you want me to double it up? Oh, I'm a double. But make no mistake, I'm telling the truth. And the reason why I say I know what's going on because they're going to continue to allow it to come on. And we're going to address it. And make no mistake, if this country was doing so well, then why is it that they creating so many of these corners and all this just so people can use the money ahead of the game instead of saving? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Why should your grandmother have to lose her house just to take care of herself if she has morbidities? Come on. That's all I'm saying. If we really cared about our people, then we wouldn't allow certain things to happen. But I just wanted to address this. Whatever they tell you is the opposite of what they tell you in government because they do the numbers. They want the numbers to come out just exactly how they want to. From everything that we use to everything that we think about and for everything as far as what we get as far as education. Don't ever, ever, ever let somebody tell you how things look if that perception in their eyes isn't the reality in your eyes. Trump said a whole bunch of mushmouth bullshit. All that's bullshit. This country is hurting. This country is struggling. This country needs a great leadership that has this ideology. The problems of the few don't outweigh the needs of the many. And when we have somebody that has that very mindset and doesn't serve those needs, then we can actually sit down and talk. We need people in this country to sit down and collectivize as far as putting the needs of the future first. The future has already been sold out amongst this new generation. That's why they're grasping at desperate measures to get money. And what we've been indoctrinated is with consumerism. So until that changes, all that what he talked about is a lie. Because guess what? You can go over to another country right now from some pens for what are the EpiPens for diabetes cost $600 over here in this country. You can go over to Mexico and get them for $100 or $125 a box. Really a case, but nobody talks about that. So that's why I say when you start listening to these politicians who lie, who consistently lie and address the nation with fallacies and a whole bunch of bullshit, you'll buy into the nonsense. You have to plug out of the matrix, do your own numbers and do your own research. I will never ever let nobody dictate to me what goes on as far as who I am as a person. And as you can see, I'm in the field. I'm working hard. You know what I'm saying? I make great money, but that's still not the point. Every American should be able to be comfortable. Everybody doesn't want to be rich. People want to be comfortable. And if you want to be comfortable, then you should be teaching financial literacy as opposed to saying, oh, we can do this and we can do that and we're saving. That word savings is basically subjective. That word savings is subjective is because it's based on how much you get paid. Not your overall, what they saying, oh, you made this amount of money, but it's also about to do with the expenditures that you come out of your household with. Food, gas, electric, car taxes now. Everything's being taxed. So don't sit there and lie to the nation and saying that we're saving the hundreds of millions of dollars when we're actually not. When you're actually on the clock for your job from the moment that you take a shower, that you're going in there, from the moment that you stop working and you have to sit in 2 and 3 hours traffic, you're really dedicating more time as opposed to having the time with your family as you're supposed to. When you work in 8 hours, you're really working almost 12 to 13 dedicated, to be honest with you. From the moment you wake up, shower, do all that, that's based on your job. From the clothes that you buy, based on your job. So that is your second home. People don't want their jobs to be their second home. If that was the case, Amazon people wouldn't be walking out. People wouldn't be walking away from their jobs because they're sick and tired of working and spinning the hamster wheel and it's not making sense. Taxes steady going up, food steady going up, and everything, and I'm not able to save. You want to talk about turkeys? How about the everyday cost of groceries in this fucking country? You want to talk about the reality of this country, of its suffering? And then people are literally gaslighting the failures of this country and the people that are organized, from the Democrats and the Republicans. All of them are pieces of shit in my eyes. Because if you cannot agree on the importance of American stability, then what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What is it? Good? Okay. You have to get a new one? Ah! So yeah, you pass this along. You pass this along to the people that want better out of life, that really want better. Tell them to start doing their own research. Start telling them to start looking at their finances, number it down. Start looking at what every dollar that comes out of your household and see if anything that he said matches what's the reality of your life. See if it applies to the reality of your life. And most of all, see currently from what he said right now for this first week to see if everything that he talked about was true. That's all I'm going to tell you. But I'm going to address this Sunday. We're going to have a marvelous time, and we're going to do breakdown by sectors. Because all what he said was a bunch of bullshit. But we're going to address that Sunday. You already know who it is. Rob the Prob. Over and out.